Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Put that there. I am butt tired, y'all. You know, if anybody come in, we do. If we don't, wait a little bit. Oh. If y'all come in, give it a like, thumbs up, share it out. We're just doing random stuff today. Maybe talk about some crazy news. I'm looking at my. I haven't planted anything yet. I just got the back clean, so well, a couple weeks back, so you can get a planting schedule. So I'm trying to see what can be planted. Most of it's leafy stuff. I didn't know we could do carrots, but it is kind of a. Carrots can be planted almost all year round here in Arizona. Okay, I love carrots too. Mm-hmm. We'll start planting some stuff. Ooh, y'all. I might put y'all up like that. Day before Thanksgiving, we'll see if anybody come in. I will work on stuff around the house. Hey, Miss Chicago BBW, happy Turkey Day coming up tomorrow. What you cooking? I'm trying to decide. I got turkey in there from last year. I got 2 turkey roasts that I got through that free Walmart thing last year. I got turkey from last year, cut up because I got a couple different ones. And it's just me. And then I bought a ham this year. I normally am not big on pork, but I like ham sandwiches. So, man, I was trying to decide. I might just do a ham tomorrow, and I still got to put the smoker together. I thought I might have it together today. I don't know. I'm moving some stuff right now. I've been working on the boxes and getting them the rest of the way down and donating stuff. So I may put that grill together today. Oh, your mom cooking? Okay. That's the best way to do is go to somebody's house, get your plate, and go home. Look, now some people stay there. I'm one of the ones like, hey, thank you for inviting me. Go in, get a plate. Usually I used to sit and eat, but now Mama ashy. And now I just take my butt home. I just realized no, this was really ashy. I take my butt and go home. Or is that, you know what I did? I drank, my stomach's been upset, so I'm out of Tums. So I made some baking soda, baking soda and water. So, and like an acid. That might be from that. Um, what happened to your mom? You said she's still sore, but she getting around. What's wrong with her? Did she fall? Oh, that's right. She the one that has her. Okay, okay. Well, girl, why ain't you cooking? Don't be letting mama cook. Look, I'm gonna talk about you like Grumpy. Look, I gotta tell the story. So Grumpy, Monty who died when he was alive, he had come out here, and this is when he started coming out more frequently because he didn't come out here all that much really. He dealt with them crazy folks in Texas and Oklahoma. So when he started coming out here, about the age I was age 25, girl, I could tell I had indigestion, gas, it's bubbling. So He'd come out, and my grandma she got sick and ended up in the hospital. You know, this ninja let her check herself out so she could cook him a meal. Girl, you better go in the kitchen and cook for your mama. Mama, go sit your tail down. That's what you need to say. What you want to cook? Have her sit there and just give orders so she can feel important. I'm serious. Girl, you cook for her. Girl. Mama, you need to sit your behind down. You just had surgery. You just tell me what to do, I'm going to do it. Watch and let you see. Bet you she let you do it. I bet you let you do it. Is it a group of y'all or just you? If it's a group of y'all just say, Mama, you need to go sit down. You sore, and we're gonna get in here, we're gonna do this. So, so you can heal. Just tell us how to cook it, because we know you know how to cook. Make her feel good. Stroke her ego. And then y'all just do what she tell you to do. And she gonna say, you ain't doing it the right way. But she need to do something. That's how they are. They need something to do. Because they need life. And then you gonna say, okay, just tell me what to do. You sit over there. You tell me what to do. See, I need to learn this anyway, Mama, just in case. So I can pass it down. Okay, got you. I didn't know you had a disabled niece. What's wrong with your niece? Oh, I got the death certificate, so I'm gonna be reaching out to the courts for the boy. The siblings never sent it, so they're dismissed. I'm done. I'm done. I don't know. To me, I was very nice, but folks gonna be folks. So show me who you are. I believe you, Maya Angelou. So I ordered directly from Vital Statistics. Ain't no big deal. I can still try to get a hold of this little boy. They don't care. God will deal with that. I'm not. It's just me. I'm not doing anything. Not going anywhere. It used to be a time when sometimes I would invite people over who were single like me, Christian friends and friends like that. With the whole COVID madness, yeah, I even have a neighbor of mine, and I know he's single by himself. With the whole, and I'm like, I'm gonna call him. He used to be a truck driver, former neighbor, and I'm gonna call him and check on him because he's older. Um, and I'll check on Larry. He's a sweetheart. He called me the other day. I was out and about, but um, I'm gonna go ahead and probably. I was thinking about smoking some turkey, but I ain't got the smoker together, so I ain't really gonna do that yet. Cause when you smoke turkey, it will. The way I would do it, if you're doing a whole turkey, it's like a whole overnight process. But I have the turkey cut up all in both freezers. But I'm not even doing that. I'm going to probably. I just thought about what I'm doing. I got a ham down here. I picked up on sale. I'm gonna end up cutting it off the bone anyway, freezing the bone for beans or whatever later or soup. And then the ham I'm gonna divide up into Ziplocs. I got that, the brown sugar sauce, that packet that comes with it. You make that brown sugar to put on there, pineapples. I think I'm gonna do. I got dressing mix. So I'm gonna do that. I have canned cranberry sauce. I keep a rotating pantry, so I got that. And I even still have a leg of lamb frozen. Well, no, what is that? Lamb shank, whatever it is, something to lamb. And it was a frozen little thing from Costco, and it comes in its own sauce. I could do that too. Let's have one of those left. But I don't think I'm heating that up yet. So I think I'm just going to do the ham dressing. I got some little rolls. I'll heat those up. Cranberry relish. And then I got Brussels sprouts. I love Brussels sprouts. So I'm going to take the Brussels sprouts, toss them in oil. I'm not a fan of the air fryer, but the air fryer does a good job with the Brussels sprouts. So I'm going to put them in I put the air fryer put all the Brussels sprouts in there and then bring them out. You know what? I didn't get any balsamic vinegar, but I do have balsamic salad dressing. So I might toss them in the balsamic salad dressing because I do like that. Um, I do like that. What's that taste I want to call it? My back is itching. I like that. Where's my back scratcher? I don't know where my back scratcher's at, y'all. I don't know. I'll scratch like that. Um, I might toss it in that. And then I might make a salad or something. Thought about some deviled eggs. It's not going to be a lot because it's just me and I don't need no whole bunch. You should eat all of me. I don't need a whole bunch. Oh, some people just like to watch me. Could be some people from that old wretched trucking company too. Sometimes they just like to get in here and watch. Who knows? Let them enjoy. It's- people are so weird right now. I'm not really shocked. Um, Folks is weird. We supposed to be going back to this office January 4th, so I got to try to find me a work from home job before January. So that's what I'm gonna be really kind of working on tomorrow, is getting some resumes out for that. Like the company's okay. I just don't want to go back into an office, and these folks want to go back in the office. I think it should be optional. I think they should give people who want to work from home, because you don't have to pay for the internet. I'll pay for my own internet. Just let me work from home. I don't want to go back in there. I don't want to go back in the office. And the thing is killing me right now. Everybody acting like the pandemic is over. I'm watching people. I had to go, so I did have to go out this house. I do a laundry service since COVID happened, and I'm going to continue it even if we get rid of COVID. But I had to go out the house to go to the laundromat because my laundry service is getting cool here. Cold, our cold, not your cold. Your cold is cold, cold, but our cold. And so I didn't. I had stuff that was brought from storage, and one of them was my quilts that my grandmother had made. They make them old fashioned quilts, and they comfy. I love them. Well, my service charge is $20 comforter quilts, so, for each one. And I was like, oh no, no, I'm not paying that. I already paid $65 for you to pick up laundry, so I'm not gonna pay. And it'll be like 150, 100. No, if I gotta do that, we're gonna take Lyft over there and wash them. So I took everything over to the laundromat, including my regular clothes. I had not been in a laundromat since the early part of the pandemic. You don't. If you work from home, you don't. They'll provide you a computer. If you're working for a company, they'll provide the computer I work on. Girl, bye. It's sitting right here. They got a little Chromebook, but they'll give you a laptop, everything you need. They'll even supply the monitors. See my monitor? That's my monitor. And I got one that's just sitting there behind me. I got two monitors. They sent all that to me. Video camera, headset, everything. They'll give you everything you need. Even the keyboard. The keyboard too small though. I use my own keyboard. I'm gonna order one. I did see that on Amazon. I saw it a while back. I just haven't, money wise. It just, hey, what's up, Matt? I just haven't had, money wise. It just hasn't been the major budget issue right now. I'm still bouncing back from Grumpy because I paid Joe back for helping with the trip. I owe him gas. He took care of the hotel, so we split the one room because we got one free, so we just split it. But I'm still bouncing back from that. I had to put some things on hold to go out there, so I'm holding, and I still got to get a vehicle. So I'm still got that part of it too, and that'll come. God'll work that out. But the Texas crew, we're done with the other children. Ain't heard nothing since. Ain't got no death certificate. They were supposed to sell the car. I knew they weren't gonna do that. I knew that was a lie, and split it among everybody. I don't believe that's gonna happen, but it's okay. Like I said, you show me who you are, I believe you. I'm gonna leave you in God's hands. Enjoy that ride. Happy Turkey Day, Miss Man. Yeah, so I'm doing that, and then I gotta reach out to my tax guy because I don't have the 1040 for 2020 because I think I'm applying for school and applying for financial aid. Yeah, I know, and it all comes back around, man. They didn't send the death certificate. I did get the death certificate. I just went when I realized that there was probably some lying going on in manipulation, and probably getting ready to put everybody on block, even them. And God bless them. And one of them is supposed to be Christian, and I don't know all the details. I don't even care. I'm gonna leave you in God's hand. I'm gonna be done with it. Um, it's sad, but they inherited who he was, so it's not shocking what I'm experiencing based on what I've seen of the extended family. Nothing about those people shocked me. Absolutely nothing. It's sad though because I tried to be nice in every way, even transparent, telling them, "Hey, your name is on this account. Hey, do this. Hey, do that. Hey, let me go ahead. I'll take care of the crazy family in Texas. You ain't got to do that." I'm trying to be kind of a buffer between them because I looked at them as kids, but Yeah, and there's some stuff that, so I didn't talk about stuff even at the funeral with them. I let that alone. But like the one brother who Monty bailed out a couple times, his name is Jonathan. He's got a temper issue, so he came in limping, and I didn't really see him. Okay, so while I was there, y'all, I had my old glasses. I don't have them sitting at the table. These are my most recent prescription, and I need to go get some new ones. And this is my most recent. But when I went, I had like my first set of glasses because I couldn't find these around the house. I was trying to reach out of here. So I couldn't see good when I was there. And my issue is distance and everything is blurry. So when I was up in the pulpit part, when he asked us to come up and say a few words, Christina went first. No. Who went first? Nick, Christina, then me. So Nick spoke, then Christina, then me. When I went, I couldn't even see. So I didn't know that the brothers, the half brothers, were sitting behind us. I didn't see them. My vision was so jacked up. The pastor was standing at the end of it all. He was standing. I said, "Where's the pastor?" I couldn't see him. Sister Parker came up, and I know I've met her on several occasions. I was like, "Where's Sister Parker?" She's standing right next to me. But glass, everything was blurry. I mean, I could see just to get around, but everything was really kind of, it was fuzzy. So it's kind of funny. But anyway, the brother, he when he got close, it's like, oh, I said, and saw him walking with a limp. And I'm being nice. I had a cane, and I have a walking stick too, and I have my cane with me. I said, man, you walking with a limp. Here's the cane, right? So I said, okay, I'm trying to be nice. And he got this like mad look on his face. This nigga, see, I'm going to say ninja. This ninja, he flicks his hand like that away from me. You have a nice day. And I just walked away. They're weird. It's Monty. I mean, it's grumpy. I don't expect anything except for them to be who they are. And so it's grumpy. It's his people. They've inherited it. And if you don't want to acknowledge what you see, I acknowledge it. So to me, I'm very aware of it. I'm aware of the temper. I'm aware of some of their mental issues. I'm alert. And if you're alert of the issues, you then work with the Lord to try to have freedom in it. And so I speak over the generational curses in my life. Lord, I speak against them. I ask you to break them. I mean, I prayed. And in reality, he has blessed me to where, thank God, and there are some things I did in my youth that I realize now come from his line. But thank God I became aware of it, and aware of it enough to say, I don't want to be part of this. But there's plenty of them. A lot of people will function in their dysfunction. That's the best way I can put it. So a lot of people, they will function in their generational curses, and they will think in some ways, I think Monty thought he was normal. He was totally abnormal. Antisocial, self-centered. It was abnormal in the grand scheme of things. Monty didn't want to be around people because to him, his world was normal and he was totally abnormal. And so he functioned in his dysfunction, which is why at the end, I think where he was at, he couldn't see out. When you can't see outside of your dysfunction, I got a friend of mine here, sweet, sweet person. Baby is off the, she doesn't, all the Cheerios aren't in the box. Very, very sweet person. But when you talk to her, you be like, I've seen her do stuff. But good-hearted individual, just odd. And all the Cheerios ain't in the box. And certain family members of her know. They like, and just as sweet as she want to be. Sweet people. It's like my hypochondriac cousins that are here. Very nice people on a certain level. Crazy as a box of rocks. Monty's folks. And it's hard because I think there's a lot of people. There's people walking around right now doing stuff. And there's this spirit that to me has unleashed. Where people who are dysfunctional, and I'm going to say, I think it's demonic. So I think the spirits behind these people, that's why you got these people beating up folks on there. Just doing, it's like a spirit that's moving. It's the only words I can say is demonic. Because it attaches itself, and these people have no clue. They function, because most people don't. If you're not Christian, okay. She said, my family in the door, I'll be back. Oh, Chicago Beauty, funny. But if you're not Christian, number one, you don't, and I'm going to say this loosely, if you're not Christian who is versed in the word and who believes spiritual things that the Bible says, you are going to presume that everyone is normal. So you're going to presume that everybody, because in my young days, I always presumed everybody, I thought we all had the same level of intelligence, common sense. It was a presumption. I didn't really realize that some people don't, everybody ain't on the same intelligence scale. Everybody don't have common sense. I mean, hello, we had a president that told us to drink bleach. Come on now. Well, can we just drink bleach and put light in the body and that'll kill it? I mean, so when you realize, oh, not everybody is on the same intelligence level. Okay, not everybody got common sense. Okay, some people are just straight up crazy. And then once you start learning about the word and learning, I mean, to me, key scripture, our fight is not against flesh and blood, but against powers and principalities. We start understanding that there are spirits behind people. And most oftentimes, the people who are run by those spirits don't even realize it. So the generational curses that are in your family lines, some people don't realize because all it does is translate the family lines, and that actually becomes their normal because your mama did it and daddy did it and daddy did it and all this stuff. Because Monty thought it was funny about the thuggies and the druggies and all that. He thought that was funny. That's comical to him. And they're ghetto families that think that weird stuff is comical. Oh yeah, cousin Johnny, he's a heel raiser. And when you look at the whole family, they got hell raisers all within the family. And the twist on how things can change. So, like, I got a friend of mine, and there were things that happened in her childhood where there were differences made between her sister and her stepfather's family members made huge differences. So for her, it's a tunnel vision thing that you have everybody should do certain things when it comes to her kids. And I understand that. I understand that. Even the half siblings, what the mother did with them, which I understand the why, but I also understand it went the extreme opposite. So there sounds like there were issues with her siblings growing up. So she prefaced to her children, the only people you got that you can trust is to make them dependent on each other. So they have this strange bond, and it's almost sick and twisted that they only interact with each other. They only trust each other. But then all of them are broken in the different ways, but that's normal. And you function in the normal dysfunction. So that becomes your normal. And there's people who dysfunction becomes their normal. I got kind of a family member who she makes her kids seem like, oh, my kids are the greatest and they're the best and they're my little angels. And I'm going to tell you, nobody is that perfect. Zero. Because all of us have issues. But they going to grow up in a delusion because that's what she's laying out for whatever her issues are, which probably stem from issues from her childhood. So you all I can tell you is one of the big things is spiritual. And the sad part is where the enemy gets his foothold into us is usually in our childhood. So, and that translates all the way into our adulthood. And unless we somewhere along the line deal with it, and I think it's still gonna seep through in some form or fashion. You can get deliverance in a lot of areas, but you still gonna have those areas where the enemy is just gonna have his foothold. And we're gonna talk to Paul. You know, Paul wrote the majority of the New Testament, but he the same one that was asking God to deliver him from a thorn in the flesh that the enemy had put there. So even in all of his intelligence, sorry, sinuses, y'all, is draining backwards. Even in all of his intelligence, he still had a stronghold somewhere. Later, he deals with it because God tells him his grace is what's going to get him through, and that's what it is. But what kills me too is that a lot of us as Christians, well, his grace is sufficient, meaning I can keep on in my sin, even though I know this is a sin, without any action or petitioning God to help me get through it. And I'm just going to continue as if this is okay. There's where I have a problem because then it's not logical. It's just, like I said, functioning in your dysfunction. But yeah, that's kind of, it's what I'm seeing, as far as what's going on. And when I'm looking at people right now, one of the other reasons I don't want to go in a corporate office, like even when I'm in my team meeting, people are nice, but people are odd. There's stuff that I would have never at any corporation thought I saw. Me and a friend of mine, we were talking, and I was telling Joe and a couple other people some things going on that I saw. And I love the company that I'm at. The diversity is great, but it's diversity on all different levels. So whatever, religious levels, all different lifestyle levels. And one lifestyle they're very prominent on. And they don't, it's like it's pushed through the roof. Um, and for me, also being 53, I'm older, and these are a lot of younger kids. I don't have the tolerance. Okay, Regina sent me something. I gotta look and see what that's about. I don't have the tolerance for a lot of stuff. So right now, that's what I'm gonna do. Actually, my friend Regina, she sent me something, but it might be too late. The VA had someone who had some stuff like remote. I'm gonna send him. I'm gonna work on a laptop. That'll be probably part of tomorrow, Thanksgiving Day. Working on my. I have a laptop. I need a new one, but I need to put it back together. And I had to order some memory for it because it had memory crashes. And I got both memory cards. So I'm gonna put it together probably tomorrow if I can find the screws for it. Put that back together, and then I need to get on there and send this man a resume and just a letter and see if he's still hiring for the position. And it's work from home. I don't want to go into an office. There's a couple of the companies I know that I most likely might be able to get on, but I don't. I have zero desire to go back into anybody's office. And I also think more is going to come with this virus, especially after this surge. That's that with all these people trying. Because that's what I was getting back to the laundry. So I took all my stuff to the laundromat. A lot of people. There was a few of us in there with masks. Obviously me, and even though I'm vaccinated, I had mask on. I don't because you can have breakthrough infections. And I got a hereditary underlying issue. I got diabetes. I'm obese. I got high blood pressure. No, I got the whole blood clotting disorder, which is hereditary. No, I'm not trying to risk it. So at this point, I'm not gonna risk that. Um, yeah. So I gotta do some stuff. So everything between now and December is gonna be straight up looking for a remote job, and there's plenty of them out there. It's just depending on some of them might be you have to put up with some ratchetness. As long as it ain't as ratchet as that transportation company I was at, we cool. But I just, yeah. I'm doing everything I can not to go back. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'll have to look for something. And there's plenty of work from home right now because there are companies who realize, hey, we're saving money. A lot of the companies that want to go in, I'm gonna tell you what this is my philosophy. What that's about. You got people who still need to be important. I need to feel good about myself because really, with the work from home, I bet you 10 to 1 you could cut a good chunk of your management. You could cut. You don't need them. You don't need for what? If a person is doing whatever they're supposed to do and producing from home, you don't need a whole bunch of people managing them. They're doing their job. If they're not, then you work on that and maybe make them come back. But if the person is producing and doesn't want to come in, leave them alone. But the other reason most people want to go back in the office because people want offices. They want titles. They want doors and rooms because it strokes their ego to feel important. Bye. I'm just simply trying to, and see, that's the other thing. The company I'm at, when you come in, they let everybody, oh, you got all these growth opportunities, and everybody can be chiefs, and there's no Indians. So that's kind of another thing. And so all these kids, they jumping over each other trying to job. I'm like, look, did I do my job? Yeah. Did I meet the metrics? Okay. Can you put that check in that account? I don't need to be a muckety muck to do my job. Those days are over. I've seen what the politics of it is. I've seen how humans are. I'm good. If I move up somewhere and it ain't no drama, I'm cool. But if it's gonna be drama and politics, I'm good. Check in the account. Yeah, the guy with he's like, oh, what he said you gonna be? He said, you'll be with me for 3 to 6 months. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to get out of here in 3 to 6 weeks. I don't want to go back into your offices. Hey, flatbed, what's up, baby? Yeah. Okay, y'all. Can we okay, so we needed a subject to talk about. Let's talk. Y'all know me. Yeah, let's talk. Cause you know me. You know I be have to analyze and stuff. So I've been having my little Christian spiritual dreams. I'm not gonna get into that. But the Lord's been showing me stuff. I did a little Christian video for my Facebook group. But I'm gonna talk about it. So I was watching. And I'm gonna tell y'all, y'all, I don't know if y'all can even see. Y'all see that back there, that shelf back there behind me? That is one of my prepper shelves. I'm gonna say that I'm an urban prepper. So I have canned goods all in this house. I got canned goods back there. I got in my kitchen, which I'm not gonna let you see right now because I need to reorganize this. This is mainly like my grains, like oatmeal, cereal, pasta. What else I got in here? I'm gonna have to move because I got some appliance stuff sitting there, but I want that shelf mainly for just food. I have some Jello up there, mashed potato flakes, dried dehydrated mashed potatoes. Anyway, and then in my room I have a whole nother shelf of nothing but canned goods. I'm getting that all up to date, and I'm gonna tell y'all need to do that. I was telling people this earlier on in my Christian group, and I didn't know why because I was having dreams about food about maybe not a quarter to midway into the early part of the pandemic. And I had like a dream, me and my mom carrying out a chicken to the trash. And we don't even talk to each other because she's crazy too. But both of us are cooks. So she had one leg of the chicken, a raw chicken. I had the other leg. We marching it like soldiers to the trash. I had a dream of standing in line. Um, okay, Regina's sending something, but I don't know what it is. I have to look at it later. She keeps sending me something. I have to look at it later. I had a dream of standing in line and you get to the front and the person says there's no food, and then when I'm pissed off because I asked for some fish, and when I walk out I see like plates, like little tiny plates like this, and like 2 or 3 shrimp and just a little small something to eat, like there was hardly any food. So I was like, okay, Lord, something's gonna happen with food, but I don't know what's gonna happen with food. Okay, I'm wondering if she got a virus. Hold on for a minute, y'all. She keeps sending me something. Oh, she's sending me food. Okay, I'm like, why does this get? Oh, that do look good though. My friend Regina sending me this, y'all. She sending me food. So her son, he had a little health scare, so it looks like she's trying to change up some of her eating, and she's doing low carb and trying to do keto as well. So anyway, although the noodles look good with that broccoli, I love me like some Asian food. Anyway, so I was having these dreams, and the dreams had me. Let me put the chat back up, y'all, because I gotta see y'all chat. So the dreams had me where I was. What'd she say? Oh, okay, that's flatbed. So the dreams had me where I was seeing. I was seeing like a food issue coming, and I let some of my Christian friends know, or Christian people on my channel. I kind of been doing some background, like, hey, and even people that I felt led to tell media, even when Grumpy was alive, I said, you need to get cans in that house, you need to get dry beans. So for me right now, I got, I don't know, probably 35, 40 pounds of beans back there, and I got probably over 50 pounds of rice, just in case. And I have them in, I have one in container, one in the original bag, but I can, I can just use it. And I wrote through my pantry, so I do use my canned goods. It's not just I'm stacking it there for like, like preppers who have it for 50 years back there and don't ever use it. They just stacking food in case the world come to an end and they think they can survive it. What it will do is get you through an issue. So, and I'm building my toilet paper back up too. Okay. So during the pandemic, I've averaged between 4 and 6 months of toilet paper. But when the vaccines first came out and everybody started feeling like, and old boy got out of office and everybody's like, some of the crazy we thought was gone, it wasn't. We all kind of felt like lighter. We did feel lighter. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan of the present day administration either. I see issues with it, and I know God is in control of both of them, but yeah. But I already know that this is all biblical. So I know from a Christian perspective, the person who was in there previously, the person that's in there now, and even the behaviors that's going on right now, this is all biblical. And again, if you know your word, but if you don't know your word, you don't know what's coming, and there's more coming. So from Christian perspective, we're in what's called the birth pains. So that's where everything, the birth pains, to me, the best way I can analogize that, the stage is being set. It's being set for the Antichrist. It's being set for the rapture of the church. It's being set for the mark of the beast. It's being set for government control. It's being set for one world money. It's being set. All I can do is sometimes I sit here because I know the word and what I have read and what I've studied, and I'm seeing it happen, and I know it shouldn't be funny, but this is what I do. Oh, we God. When I see stuff and it's really standing out that God is really moving, oh, we God, and laugh. Because most people have absolutely no clue what's coming. These people are so oblivious. And again, it goes to spiritual things. You and your demons. The thing that people want, and I actually had said this, I do a little thing in our team meeting that we just had, and my the team leader, he asked me, he said, oh, he wants me to take on a project, right? He does projects for people, and that's how he rates that you're trying to move up the line. I don't really care about that, moving up the line. Did I do my core job? Yeah. And I'm in these sections of the performance. Yes. Okay, I don't understand why you rate me here, but it's okay. As long as you rate me in the middle and put that check in that account. Every 2 weeks. We all right, bruh. We all right. So I stopped. I said something in there, and I said, they want you to use certain words and verbiage in the conversations with customers. And I use the word benefit. And I said, most people are very self-centered. So if you tell them benefit, oh, I love that. I love that. These folks. I love that, Shannon. Okay. That's a great place to put it. But the reality is, it's true. If you tell somebody's gonna benefit. So right now, we're using verbiage. We use the word peace of mind. And if you guys watch advertisements right now, you're seeing, and I'll come back to the food in a minute, you're seeing everything. Like, oh, you get this, and you can have peace of mind. I am hearing that phrase so much that I'm like, And what came back to me is the scripture, they're going to holler peace, peace, and there ain't going to be no peace. Peace in every aspect. I didn't even think on the smaller scale of the word peace. But because of the madness of the pandemic, everybody wants peace of mind. So what people are now marketing these businesses for money is they telling you, if you buy a product, if you do this, if you do that, if you take this trip, if you get this, that, it'll give you peace of mind. Baby, you better get some Jesus and have some peace of mind in this madness. But people aren't seeing it from a spiritual level. Matter of fact, I just watched, I watched the van life stuff. And this lady is here in Arizona, up in Sedona. And I forgot where she came from originally. She got a van and she bought one of these travel vans where she can travel around. And she's visiting, I guess, a friend up in Sedona. And they've been hiking and stuff. They went to church on Sunday. And after the church service, she went and had a crystal service. Oh, no. She went through a crystal healing session. The church is not teaching. You went to the Christian church on Sunday where she said, have you ever gone to church and it feels like they're talking right to you? That's because Jesus is reaching through the pastor trying to reach you. Then she says, oh, and I just went to the most amazing crystal healing session. Guys, I'm going to help you. Leave the chakras, the crystal surfaces alone. You are opening yourself up to demonic spirits, point blank, period. But a lot of people don't realize. So we got a whole bunch going on. I'm seeing a more intense in the new age stuff, witchcraft, chakras, yoga, all this other stuff. I'm seeing so much in that. And people are going off the deep end. But back to the food. So I'm watching. And when I went, so a couple different things have happened. When I went to go get my booster shot, I did my booster. They actually sent me the link and they said, hey, you may be eligible. And then I filled out the little thing, which I knew I was eligible. I have underlying issues. I had to go mail some paperwork and get some stuff done. Financially, I'm taken care of. So I had to go over and have notary and all that stuff done. So I went and did that. And then I had to go, since I was there, I said, okay, I'll go to the grocery store. And I needed to get my shot. Well, the shot was at the grocery store, the pharmacy inside the grocery store, Albertson Safeway. So I, had not been physically grocery shopping with the exception of running in and grabbing some grapes, maybe some, somebody had some inflammation issues. I do tart cherry juice for gout, and it also gets off your uric acid to get that. And I leave out the store. All my shopping is done through Instacart. My freezer is full. I can barely put any more meat up in there. That freezer is full to the brim. God has blessed me. So, I I had meats from last year. I haven't been really cooking meat on that big of a level. I have been ordering, since I got back, I was ordering out a lot more. I've decreased that again and back to cooking for myself. Um, but what I'm going to tell you, I've been doing mainly Costco, and I usually order from an Asian market here, excuse me, a Latino market here called El Super. So those are the two places I order, is usually from Costco and El Super. El Super, because they're cheapest, they were cheap on their vegetables. And that's pretty much what I did, was get my fresh vegetable and some canned goods and tortillas and then hot sauces. I got that from El Super. My anything else that I needed, sometimes breads, things like that, or anything else that was outside the norm, or cleaning supplies or whatever, I got that through Costco, and I bought it in bulk. Okay, so I turn around and I go and I see someone said, "Look at them, go in the meat section." I didn't know what was going on with prices. I had no idea. I Now, where some people are seeing shortages of meats at their stores, I don't. And I'm not a Walmart major shopper. I have not been in Walmart since the early part of the pandemic, when I started stocking cans, when I started having the dreams. And then when I realized that people deliver your stuff, once I found out more and more about the pandemic, because we weren't getting it under the previous administration, Shannon kept her black butt home, because I knew that I had way too many high risk issues. So I started having delivery to the door. But I hadn't really been, and I know people are going in their stores and you're seeing gaps and stuff not there due to what they're saying is the supply chain. Go back into the old trucking life I was in. Y'all, I'm going to give you my view of everything going on from a Christian perspective. Do what you want with it. When I went through that store and I looked at the meat section, the first thing I did, I was in, because they have a discount section. They've been there forever. And every time I used to go in the store, I would go to the discount section. So I went to the discount section, and like I said, I'm not huge on pork, but every so often I'll do it. I'm not saying I don't. They had some boneless pork chops, and they were 30% off or whatever the price was. I picked up those. It was only two. I was like, oh, I haven't had a fried pork chop. And I do like pork chops from time to time. Not all the time. Every blue moon. I'm weird because I don't like a lot of fried foods. That's the weird part about me. Like, I used to love fried chicken. Every blue moon. I'm not a fried food person. I can't explain it. Things have changed for me. And I think things change as we get older anyway. So I turn around and I go and I get that. And it wasn't bad. It was discount. So it was like $4 for the package, 30% off. So as I walked down further, and I knew they had the London broil on sale for, like, I think it was $1.77 or something like that, a pound. I can't remember what it was. I walked down and I looked. Somebody tell me, when did you start paying $60 for a steak? I need to know. I need to know. I just was like, what the Sam hell? I saw a steak for $60 in Arizona. We ain't never had no beef not unless, okay, rephrase. If I'm going to a high-end gourmet market, such as one we have out here called AJ's, where a lot of the chefs go, you could get a $60 steak, the ones with the bone on. I forget what they call them. It's like the ribeye. It has the bone. I think it's a ribeye. It has the bone, like it's a cowboy steak almost, like the bone is out, and they do it. You usually see them on gourmet shows. You can get those, and those are going to be pricey because it's kind of a gourmet thing. I get that. It can be okay, and those must be $120 now. I saw a T-bone steak for $60. I was discombobulated. So then I went down further and I started to look at the London broil that was on sale that I saw in the ad, because I was in the store and like, oh, I could freeze it. I went ahead and bought it because it was cheap enough, because its normal price, I got it at $13 or $15, something like that. The normal price for it was almost $40-50. Now, what in the Sam hell has taken place? I couldn't pick my teeth up. So then I went into the vegetable section, and the dollar per apple or whatever, the prices are astronomical. And I'm like, you should have seen me in the store. I was like, what the hell is going on? So I did not know about the inflationary costs, because I normally have been buying the same stuff that hasn't really changed too much. My toilet paper from Costco, since I don't go in, is $18 and change. I get the big family bulk size. I get the Costco bottled water, $3.49. Stay the same price. I usually buy stuff that they got on sale. So example is right here. By the way, it's very good. It's the first time I've had Stonewall Kitchen stuff before, but I've never had their wild Maine blueberry. They call it jam, but it's really to me like a fruit spread because there's like chunks of blueberries in here, and that was actually pretty good. I put it in the refrigerator because I had it for breakfast, and it's sitting here at the desk because I don't have tables, so this is where I eat usually. Because I don't have room for a table. This apartment is small, so like what would be considered the dining room, I actually have my storage shelf, baker's rack, my little refrigerator that was on the truck, microwave, and then I have my stacked bottles of water. And I'm gonna get it. I had it up to 16. I'm now at, what am I at now? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9.5. So it's gonna go back up to 16. But anyway, Costco had that on sale. So anytime they have sales and I read up on it, and if it's something decent, I go ahead and get it and I'll stock it. So I either stock it or get it because I want to try it. This I hadn't tried, but I stock stuff. I have stock jellies too. So anytime I get anything on sale, I stock it. There's another one I like called E.D. Smith. E.D. need me to punch him in the face. E.D. Smith has a fruit spread, and I think it's low sugar because it's like no sugar or low sugar, whatever. It's a fruit spread. Amazing. And I haven't tried the blood orange one, but I got the blood orange one because I've been wanting it, and they actually finally had it at my Costco. But I had their fruit spread that they had. It was the first one I got on sale from Costco, and it comes 2 jars. Man, I put it on a peanut butter and jelly and almost lost all sense of reality because it was that good. I'm just saying, it was good. Anyway, off that subject, y'all. Y'all know me and food. I have an issue. So, turn around, and when I went in there and I started just vegetables that were overpriced, I really had nothing. I was so blown away by what I saw in the prices, and I did leave out of there most of what I had on was on sale. But what I bought on sale, normally I could go out there even cheaper than what I have. And the lady always says, she said, "Oh, we haven't seen you in a while." No, you have not. And I probably won't be back up in here anytime soon after seeing your prices. And thank you, Jesus. So I got to get in the backyard because I'm getting ready to start I got to get my lettuces growing. I got to get my radishes going. I got to order. I thought I had some what I call watermelon radish seeds, which I was hoping I had, but I don't see them. So, like, I wanted to get the watermelon radish, so I'm going to have to order a set of them. I thought I had it. But anyway, I've been digging through my seeds today. That's what I'm doing right now. I've been digging through some of my old seeds and just kind of seeing what I had that I can start planting. But, y'all, if y'all got a patio, a balcony, whatever, please, 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 you can research on here. There's a lady on here, and I've been watching her for years in some little Asian country. This woman got a little bitty balcony. She grow a lot of her vegetables right on that balcony. There's a family on here. They living in, so it's like a family, Asian family. They live in it looks like some apartment on top of a roof, and their entire roof is food. That literally the entire roof is food, and they take, like they make this day water bottles to do that. And he has like, I need to order one. It's like a soldering iron where he puts the hole in the plastic, and he does this with it and waters it. He takes like milk containers, and if they have juice bottles or whatever after they get through, or soda bottle, anything like that, he'll turn them into planters and plant food in there and be growing food. The brother is good. He take coffee sacks and then go in the kitchen and get up in there with that wok and whatever. And honey, I was like, okay. Mainly vegetables. I don't even think I've ever seen him cook meat. He just do everything for the family. Be like vegetarians. I don't know if they are, but it's always vegetables. Some sort of vegetables. He's stir frying, making, and looks like his mom, maybe his mom and his dad, some kids, him. I don't even know if there's a wife. I just always see him. Looks like an older lady, an older man, and some kids, and him. And he go out to that garden, the next thing you know, or he'll show you how he starts growing this stuff. The next thing you know, he cooking it. And there's really no excuse. There's another lady I saw in an Asian country. She don't even have dirt. She got like bricks in her backyard or her front yard or wherever that is. And the dirt in between the bricks, she puts the seeds down there and just waters. And the next thing you know, she got lettuces and stuff growing up in between the bricks. We ain't got no excuse. I'm like, oh, my fat butt ain't got no excuse. So I'm going to get out there because, I can be out there grow my own. And I watched a video today on YouTube of a lady who said she was going over, I guess, in a small town, how she says she eats 90% of her food comes from her yard that she eats. She does 90% of what she eats is consumed from what she grows. She does not, very few things she orders from stores. She says, as a matter of fact, I don't think she goes to the grocery store. She said a lot of stuff she does is in bulk. And then she breaks them out into jars and stores them on her shelf. So grains, whatever, she buys in bulk and breaks it down because she found that the pricing is better that way. I'm like, okay, like I want to do butcher blocks. I want to do that if I end up, the meat part, if I don't do butcher blocks. I don't want to, like I said, what I saw at the grocery store was disturbing. I did go ahead and get the London broil. It was 2 nice slabs. I cut them up because it's just me and the fours and put them in my freezer because my freezer, like I said, it's packed. I'm just barely putting stuff in there. I don't need no more right now. Because anytime I see something, I was like, well, you ain't got no room. Until you can get through what's in there, you ain't got no room. So, because I got a little freezer and then I got the regular, you see the refrigerator in the corner over here. In the corner of that, well, y'all can see, y'all can see me pointing, but I don't know if y'all can see me pointing. Let's see. I don't know if y'all see me pointing. I don't know if y'all can see me pointing, but right there is the refrigerator. So, I have one over here, but then I have one over in the corner, which is a little one I had on the truck. And it's like, like a dorm room refrigerator freezer. You got the bottom part that's the refrigerator, and it's like short. So I got one of those. That was on one of my trucks. And that was when I was at the Oklahoma company. And I had the new Freightliner, where they were really weird. Love the truck, but they were weird. It's where Monet is now. And I don't think it was a bad company. I just, I probably should have went into them as an owner-op, so I would have had more freedom. Because the trucks are nice. But company, yeah, and the guy, yeah, I'm good. Anyway, back to it. So when I went in there, I just noticed the prices have gone up tremendously. And then I was watching on the news about the inflationary costs. And I watched a news article, which I found very interesting. So I can't play it for you. I played it for my Christian group in the background. Here's what it said. So NBC, and NBC is a channel I tend to be prone to, as long as they don't go sensationalized. NBC goes and they interview the cattle farmers. Because when I got back to the house, I was totally discombobulated. I'm like, what in the hell is going on with prices? Because I'm just... food prices, I was like, hi, and then they talking about fuel. Right now I don't have a car, so when you talking about the fuel prices, I'm like, oh. But I'm going, what the hell is going on with the cost of all this other stuff? So they talking and they're saying they went to go interview this farmer. Y'all, I want you to hear this. I want you to hear exactly what he said, and then I'm going to get into it. This might be an hour and a half. I didn't mean to go this long. The lady says, hey, we're noticing the cost of beef is going up tremendously. And I'm thinking, yeah, I ain't never seen a $60 steak. Maybe $30, but I ain't never seen no steak almost $60. Not a T-bone. In Arizona, no. I used to buy T-bones. I used to smoke them and grill them, and I like a good steak every so often. So he said, yeah. He says, he tells that the cost of his hay has gone up tremendously. But he says he is still getting virtually the same money for his cows, for his beef. And so she says, so if it's not at your level, where are the increases coming from? He said it's either at the packer level or the retail level. So at the grocery store level or the packers. So some of the people I used to pick up beef for, National, Cargill, JBS Swift Beef, it's at their levels. So he's saying, hey, it's got to be there or it's at the retail level. I don't know. I'm not there. So she then goes and interviews where they auction off cattle. And the auction, I don't know if you know about cattle, but they auction it for stuff. You can auction it to people to breed. You can auction it off to these packer companies. They'll buy the beef and then they'll slaughter it and put it in the refrigerator in the grocery stores. So I'm like, okay, I'm watching this. And because I'm curious, because I just came from madness, right? And it's irony to me that I'm watching the news and this is coming up after I'd gone there and seen all this. If y'all don't know, it was almost a year or so ago, I told everybody, y'all need to start, certain people, and even on my little Christian channel, start stocking cans, beans, rice, water, stock. I don't know what, but I'm having dreams. Something's going to transpire. I don't know what it is, but something's transpiring. I don't know if it's famine. I don't know what's going to happen. I just know something is up, okay? I can call Grumpy. I called some very good friends here who I felt led to call and told them. Now, some folks, they think I got money now, so they chilling and they don't think nothing gonna happen. And hey, everything good. I love you. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. Good luck to you. But you might want to stop. You've seen how God works in my life and how He operates. I warned you, and you've seen stuff manifest. Exactly what I tell you happens. But like I said, there's spirits behind people, and those spirits can have you in delusion. And then when all hell breaks loose, I'm gonna tell you, baby, let's go here. So she goes and interviews the auction guy, and he says, we're not getting as much money at the auction as what we used to. And we realize that the farmers are depending on us auctioning off some of their cattle to try to meet their bills, because this is what they can get in order to sometimes sustain them for a year, whatever. They go to ask the beef companies. We got no reply. But they go back to an older article or older interview where the beef company talks about, oh, well, we got shortages of employee, but we got an overage of cattle. So we're short on processing because of whatever employee loss is what they're saying. But we got an overage of cattle, so we boosted the price. And wait a minute, they have made record profits. I'm going to say this, and it's a scripture. The love of money is the root of all evil. That's what came to me when I saw it. And I'm sitting there and I'm laughing. I'm going, ooh-wee Jesus. Baby. Y'all better follow the bouncing ball on what they're doing. She proceeds to do this little thing. Y'all can look it up, NBC News, and look up maybe beef interview. Y'all, between what they are saying with the whole madness of the supply chain issue, which some people think that's only here in America. Oh, no. It's worldwide. Woo, Jesus. Let the stage be set. Let me help you. And I don't know if y'all know what's going on in Canada, because again, we don't care about that. It don't benefit us, so we don't care about Canada. There are parts of Canada where all their roadways are cut off, and they're actually right now doing the same thing they did in the pandemic, which is they hoarding. Okay, so they're going in and wiping off the shelves. One of the van lifers, he showed the line outside Costco in Canada that was very similar to what we saw in the pandemic, because they've had such storms due to the weather change. It's wiped out roadways in and out of certain major areas of Canada. You can reach it. You can research it. You can actually see the pictures. You got the road. You got a slide. You got no road. Sorry. I'm like, ooh, Jesus. So everybody right now is wanting to get back to normal. We don't want no bad news. We don't talk about natural disasters. We still want to do life as usual, and we done jacked up the planet. And God is talking, but we ain't gonna listen. We gonna do what we want to do. It's all about me. I'm gonna talk to my chakras. I'm a him and ha. I'm gonna talk about gratefulness. I ain't gonna talk about Jesus, because I want to talk about you, because if I talk about Jesus, that means I gotta look in the mirror and deal with my sin. So I want to talk about that because I want to keep doing my sin. And then I'm going to talk about being a good person. But you can be a good person and go right to hell. I'm just saying. Because the church ain't teaching. And we got people coming into church, leaving out, being ignorant of spiritual things, and going and doing chakras and crystal healings and Wiccan and all sorts of craziness, and inviting in demons. And then they walking around not understanding why they depressed, why they don't have peace of mind, because they don't have Jesus. Jesus is my peace. So you during the madness, you wonder how I kept my mind. It's because I got a relationship with Jesus. That's how I kept my mind. That's how I keep my mind. That's how I'm stay focused, and I'm fat as hell, and that's why I got food all in this house, because God is a provider. But you want to be in the madness, and you want to go back. We got people who are like Grumpy, who you think groceries is McDonald's, Whataburger, Burger King, and fast food. And when you go in your house, you ain't got no food. So when all of what's about to come down the line happens, you ain't gonna have nothing, and you're gonna be looking funny, like you didn't have toilet paper, because you didn't use wisdom. I'm just saying. The Bible talks about storing up, not hoarding. That's a big difference. Storing up. It tells you about what it uses ants to show you how they store for what's coming. I ain't telling you to have 80 years of food. I'm not telling you that. I'm not telling you that. Okay? I'm not telling you that. But I am telling you you need to have emergency supply. I'm trying for at least 1 year, and I think I'm close to possibly a good year of food in this house. I probably, because I was planning for 2 people. So if I keep going at my rate and get everything where I want it, and then I would just have to, I probably would lose some weight. Have to cut how you eat. I'm good for a year. And I'm gonna get my water supply back up. Matter of fact, I'm probably gonna double it up. Because last time I had up to 16 cases. I'm probably gonna have 32 by the time it's over with, stored. I even have collapsible jugs in there in case of emergency. And people may think that's strange, but I'm gonna say this. Remember Texas? Y'all remember Dallas? Remember all the Texas in that freeze? In the 100 years, they ain't never seen. Y'all do remember New Jersey and the East Coast. If you pay attention to more than just your area, where the water was coming down into areas people ain't never seen no flooding like that in certain East Coast areas, and they ain't never experienced that before. Y'all do remember that, right? But what gets me is people are still trying to live in this as if it's normal and not realize that there is something bigger going on. Again, in the Bible, we call them birth pains. Because the stage is being set for someone to come on the scene. Old boy is raising trillions of dollars. I got a question to ask. Can you continue to borrow money and not ever pay it back? What happens when you default on the loan? Right now, they're just printing money and trying to stimulate the economy the same way they did before. And folks in certain echelons, because they love money and they greedy as hell, they playing the game. But I'm going to tell you something else that's happening. Let me tell you a quick story. So when I was at the Ratchet Trucking Company, we were talking when my associate at Condon was trying to work for them and then found out they was crazy. And she's like, I'm going to go. He talked to us at the door when he first met her. And he was saying how this particular trucking company, who's shady, they had, so some of the land they have out here has, hey Kathy, what's up, baby? They have part of the land is coded agricultural. So even though they're using it for commercial, they not paying big taxes on that, if any, because they get it as agricultural. Money hooks itself up to not pay money. Old boy Biden is talking about, we're going to raise the taxes on the wealthy, on these corporations making all this money. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want y'all to follow my bouncing ball. Do you think them wealthy pink folks is going to give up their salary that they make every year in order to pay the taxes that man wants them to pay? No. They're going to do exactly what this director dude told us that the company I was at was going to do. They going to change it up, and he says it's just going to come back down to the employees. Basically, we going to get our money back. We're not, the folks on top, they're not going to take no cuts. No, they're not. And they're not. They're not. So when you see the prices of your beef being gouged and the prices of all these things, let me tell you what you're paying for. The $1 trillion and that whatever percentage of interest that he's getting ready to charge they behinds for taxes, they rolling that down to the regular American folk. We not paying it. I'm going to get my same check, if not even more, and I'm going to make them little poor behind people who just didn't have the luck I have pay that bill. And it's going to come through their groceries or whatever products they buy from us. Next. So if you charge me XYZ in taxes, All I'm going to do is put that into the cost of whatever products or services or goods that I supply people. These are the same people who outsource the jobs overseas. Why do you think our country, child, that's what I'm saying. We got to look through different glasses. Some folks ain't, y'all looking at surface stuff. You better look at the deep stuff and see how the enemy works. The love of money is the root of all evil. It's evil. It's evil. It used to be a time, if you look back in my grandparents' days, when people who had businesses, they did concern themselves about how would this impact their employees. I don't want to lay employees off. How they cared about their people. These new folks don't give a dang about their people. They give a dang about that dollar, about their wealth, and about their status, and about their materialistic self in life. Give a dang about you or I or America. That's why you can outsource jobs, let a whole people go. And now we are a country where half our stuff is sitting on boats in the ocean, and we're dependent on who? Chinese goods, Asian goods. We can't even get cars right now because where the chips made? In China. We don't have chip factories over here. Oh, I forgot. You don't want to pay American workers what they need to survive to buy your goods. Because I can gouge the goods, set high behind prices, pay slave wages over in these other countries, which I know Americans aren't going to work for. And then come back to America, you working your butt off to get a name brand something and pay astronomical amounts of money when he probably paid 50 cents and you paying $50. And you buying it from him. So we hit a pandemic that comes from a certain country. I can't blame them for it. I don't know if it was weaponized. I don't know. I can't answer that question. I know that's suspected. I have no idea if it was accident. I don't know. I know it's weird to me. I'm gonna say that. We get in the pandemic. We ain't got enough ventilators. Shut the front door. So who are we waiting on to try to send us some more ventilators? The same country we got the virus from. So then we got our car companies converting to try to make ventilators for the pandemic because we don't have American companies to make our crap. Now we got American companies that are trying to come up to create things that we've outsourced because now all of a sudden in an emergency, we don't have nothing here made in America. Then let's really look at this because he just took that, whatever, that gallons of fuel or whatever from our emergency stash, which he shouldn't have done. He should have done because OPEC is gouging the fuel prices for your vehicles. I don't know if people ain't thinking, but did you think maybe, because that's really supposed to be for war. I don't know if you guys know that. The emergency fuel stash we have here is in case we get in war. So we're going to tap it to fuel American public with the little bit that he released, because that is a little bit, because it only lasts, a day or 2 days with the demand that we have on vehicles. Another reason why work from home should be better. So we going to tap that in order to, what he say, lower the cost. For what? You can't do it. You can't do it long term. We don't have the oil supply that they do over in the Middle East. We don't have that. So we are dependent on them. Except whatever the hell price they want. And could it be that they setting us up? Because if we do tap that and we run out, and then they come over here and act a fool over here, ain't not a doggone thing we can do because we ain't got fuel to run our planes, fighting equipment. I mean, you just got to look at the grand scheme of things. Folks, things are up in the air all over. All over. And spiritually right now, we are in a time where stages are being set. So I'm sitting up here and I'm like, ooh-wee. Ooh-wee, Jesus. Me and my niece talked the other day. She said, I'm waiting for the Lord to come. I said, girl, we better be casket ready or trumpet ready. Trumpet mean the rapture. Casket mean the casket. Whichever one, you better have your house in order with the Lord. You got to be ready because right now we here. I don't believe, I know some people, some Christians, I ain't going to get the vaccine and this, that. I believe the vaccine is the vaccine. I don't have an issue with the vaccine. But I do believe that the behaviors around the vaccine are definitely a setup for the mark of the beast. And that's what's entertaining. I'm entertaining in a entertaining because I'm seeing biblical scripture with feet. I'm seeing scripture and prophecy come to life with feet. So the attitude of my government ain't gonna tell me what to do and you can't force. Um, when I grew up as a kid, you couldn't go to school without certain vaccines. I almost died from, I think it's called the German measles or whatever it was when I was a baby. My mom told me you had to get the polio shot, and chicken and all that other, so that you wouldn't go to school and give it to other kids. Now we got this entitled generation that's going to tell us, but it's okay, because what you have to understand is the psychology around it because of the signs of the times. Because we need that attitude when the mark of the beast comes. Because we are going to need a group of people who are going to stand and say, you know what? You can take my head, you can take my life. I'm not taking that mark. I'm not taking that chip, whatever it is that's going to tie itself to the mark of the beast. I'm not taking it. So the behaviors are being set now spiritually, which is okay. It's okay. There's some foolishness behind it, but it's okay because I understand why it's out there. It's in the atmosphere. And that's okay. Because this is the stage that's going to be set. And then you're going to have those who are going to go and just easily, I'm being a good citizen. It's not about being a good citizen to me. I'm just looking at it from a healthcare standpoint. But I get it. I get it. I get it. And now the government can mandate this and mandate that. All a setup to a mandate that's going to come and say you can't buy or sell without a mark. It's being set up. It's just a prelude to it. It's the dress rehearsal. My vaccine card is in my bag. I carry a messenger bag. It's in my messenger bag with my passport. So that if I go into restaurants, and some restaurants here will say, you have to wear a mask or we need to see your vaccine card. So even when you go back to your certain employers, they're going to say, hey, we need to see your vaccine card or you need to do this, that, and the other thing. It's going to come to a time where it's going to be a chip, or what they call a mark of the beast, a chip. I'm thinking it's a chip. And it's going to be to work, to eat, to go into the grocery store, to buy or sell. Absolutely. And money is going to be a problem. Bitcoin is happening for a reason. Y'all have no idea. I'm watching it, and all I can do is I'm sitting there going, woo-wee, Lord, and laughing. I've been having dreams lately. Last dream I had last night, it talked about a perversion. And I know it was about perversion. Because it was like Egyptian stuff and perversion. I could see it in the dream. It's weird. And I'm like, okay, Lord. Because there is an intense perversion that's happening in a whole bunch going on in our world right now. But the church ain't talking about that. We still got pastors trying to tell you you're going to be the best. And, your day is coming and you're super duper blessed. And you're going to have a promotion on your job. And you're going to have $500,000. And you're an entrepreneur and blah, 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 blah. And they not teaching you there's a heaven, there's a hell, there's a devil, there's a God, there's a Jesus, there's a Holy Spirit. There's prophecy, there's end times, there's a mark of a beast, there's an antichrist. They not teaching you fundamental spiritual things. So people are walking around here totally flipping oblivious and supposed to be Christian, opening themselves up to some massive demonic activity. I think I posted it in the community board. If you guys have a chance, free audiobook. I found it through YouTube. It's called This Present Darkness. It's by Frank Peretti. I think it's Frank Peretti. I think that's what it is. It is it's a Christian book, but it's fictional. And it's a fictional story of what takes place in the town and people being involved in stuff and how spiritual things come on board. Very good book because he does a phenomenal job of showing it to you in a fictional setting. Good storyline. You can just listen to it. You ain't even got to read it. I did part 1. I'll put part 2 up in a couple of weeks. Or a week or so. Let me read this real quick. Let me see. I'll catch up with y'all. Oh, and the real estate companies. That's what you were saying, and I meant to get to that because I was on the food tangent. Real estate companies right now. Well, a lot of what's driving up the prices is you got people selling their houses in certain parts of the country, and they're coming in with all this money and driving up the house prices. And folks, again, I want normal. So I'm gonna go buy houses. And so they're going back and doing the same stuff because the country never did correct the bad behavior. We couldn't let those industries fail, so we gave them money and they just repeat the same stuff they did before. I worked for a pay for profit university, right? They got slapped on the hand because they were not supposed to be doing they were using sales tactics, okay? That really, the sad part is they actually are the ones who started the online schools. They had a genius idea. But at this point, now they had to compete. So they were still using sales tactics. And sales tactics are usually slick willy, okay? So they're using these sales tactics. They didn't get away from it and they kept doing it. Well, all of a sudden, they couldn't survive it because you have to find another way. You need to be in Amazon. Amazon don't have to sell itself. Its whole idea and the way they do things, it sells itself without even a sale comment. All they need to do is post up what they have. You go on and look what you want. You get what you want. One-stop shopping. Walmart sells itself the same way. Walmart doesn't really have to do massive advertisement because everything is under one roof. Everybody's drawn to that. Even though some of the products in Walmart are quite are more expensive. I can do it all in one fell swoop. Let's see here. Hey, Bot, for thy merchants were the great men of the earth, and by their sorceries they deceived all the nations of the earth. The word sorcery on Greek translation is pharmakia, pharmaceuticals. Okay. I didn't know that, but okay. Oh, well, that's another thing. As far as and so some people will think, I don't know if the pharmacy companies are in on it. I know they're going to make a killing on this. That's the truth, and they're going to make the killing. Not That's going to come from the government, but again, we're going to end up paying it in taxes. And they're trying to get this to be paid by these big companies, but these big companies are rolling it down to us, which is why you have inflation, because we're going to inflate the prices. Because again, I'm the CEO of XYZ company and I got to pay XYZ now in taxes. And I've been running my $1 trillion company and I've been getting away because I got the right lawyers of not paying any taxes or hardly any taxes and still profiting and got private jets and can take things to the moon and space now. I'm not paying you no dang money. I tell you what I am going to do, though. I'm going to raise the prices of my products and my services and my goods. And y'all at the bottom who all caught up in the names and labels and y'all barely making it and you buying my stuff, I'm going to let y'all go ahead and keep doing that. I'm just going to raise the prices, double it, triple it. And I'll let you struggle working for me for no wages to turn around and put the same money I'm paying you back into my coffers. That's exactly what's going on. Not shocked. Kathy, you funny. You said I've been thinking about this stuff all day. Tune into you. What the what? Confirmation, get out of my head. You funny. Chicago BBW, when that time happens with the chip, so it's going to be, I'm believing and hoping that the church will be going by then. That's my thought process, is that we've always been in the pre-tribulation rapture, meaning before the Antichrist is even introduced, the church is going. I don't know because I'm up in the air on that. And not saying I've always been taught pre-tribulatory rapture, but I don't know. I'm either going to lean that way or mid-trib rapture. So, meaning that the church may have to go through part of it. I don't know. We already are seeing the falling away of people in the church. People who have been staples in the church, different ministers and stuff, have fallen away after this pandemic. It exhausted people, and a lot of it is because most of them weren't in their walk in the right way, and most of them weren't rooted and grounded in the word. So a lot of people have come into Christendom under what I call a watered down gospel. So they've come into it under the name it, claim it, touch it, feel it gospel, word of faith. I can claim, and not saying, and don't get me wrong, there are some foundational principles in word of faith. I do believe that the Lord told us we can speak over a situation. I do believe we can pray over a situation. I do believe we can have faith in it and stand on those grounds. But at the end of the day, we always have to remember it's God's permissive will. And we also, how in tune are we with his will when we're standing on things? Okay, that's just facts. You can't think that you can speak and say, I'm going to live here on this planet forever, because the word of God tells me every man is appointed a time to die. So that's not reality. But we have people that are preaching this in the word of faith, name it, claim it, that are trying to say that. But we have everybody looking, and I hate to say it, in my opinion, they're pimping God. That's just what they're doing. So we're teaching a pimp God gospel. Basically, God, what can you give me? And that means that what I get, I'm blessed. If I got the Lexus, I'm blessed. If I got the house, I'm blessed. If I got the Nike shoes, I'm blessed. If I walk out of here in this suit, I'm blessed. That's where you think blessing is. That's disturbing to me. Because when Jesus was walking this planet, the people he hung with weren't the pretty, weren't the wealthy. The majority of who he hung with was the average Joe, or people who didn't have much, broken. And I think, to me, one of the best scriptures that he says, when the Pharisees were coming up there, the religious, quote unquote, would have been your ministerial Christians, evangelicals of today, and were coming up to him and challenging them because they wanted to be important. And they wanted him, I would say, they wanted Jesus. Well, if you're the son of God, or if you're this or that, do this. They wanted him to perform miracles, as they say. He was performing miracles. What it was is they wanted him to do tricks. And I'm going to say this, tricks are for kids. But the thing is that's why he told him, he says, you looking for a sign, but you won't find a sign. A perverse and adulterous generation seeks after a sign. Why does he say that? Because a perverse and adulterous generation want to stay in their perversion. They want to stay in their mess. So even if the signs are before them, they won't see it because they don't want to see it. All right, Kathy. Yes, it can. You too have a good turkey day. But so many people, I'm looking for signs. You looking for signs? The signs all around us right now. We got a lot of signs going on right now to show the Bible truth, because there's a lot of prophecy coming into play. But we got people who are so lost, and they have zero clue. I'm gonna be on here for about 10 more minutes and I'm in this. The other night I had a lady call me, and I don't know, it wasn't really a work conversation, but it ended up being a spiritual. And she said, all this must have happened so I could talk to you. Because it went Christian. Her mom had just passed, and I was telling her, we both said, and she said, and she's getting a car. She got her approval through the lender, and I was working with her on the lender part of it. And so there's some documents that she was missing. I said, this is what we need to do. Boop-de-boop-de-boop. She had virtually everything. She just missing one little piece, and it was pretty much a done deal. Y'all. So this woman, we got to talk about her mom, and she's saying, I'm still reeling because it was unexpected. Her mom's loss was unexpected. She's in Georgia. And honey, it went a whole spiritual conversation. In a way, started talking about the Lord as best I could in the job setting. And she said, I was meant to talk to you tonight. You don't even know. I said, oh, I know. I said, when he gives me this, I just have to roll with it. And I said, and it's going to be what it's going to be. There are things happening that we need to be aware of. And the church itself is out of order. We haven't taught these people. And people, someone going to be left behind in the madness of this mess when it happens, when the church is rolling out. Again, I don't know. I grew up under pre-tribulation theology. But some of me also wonders, will we have to go through some of the madness to find out who is for God and who's not? Is he going to shake some trees? Because to me, we in a shaking right now. Coming out of this, and I'm not, because we're not out of it. I don't even know if we're really going to come out of this. I think people are trying to act as if. That was the thing I was going to talk about, the laundromat. I walked in there like folks were like this, like everything back to normal. I'm like, no, people still dying from the pandemic. We got inflation now. Companies begging for folks to work, and some folks can't even get jobs when there is work. I'm confused. When did things get better? Because to me, it ain't better. To me, there's issues. I'm just need to understand. I'm trying to comprehend. I need you to help me. Y'all, I'm gonna tell you. I'm just gonna tell you things ain't fully where they supposed to be. And there's a lot going on right now. And I'm gonna tell y'all, make sure your spiritual house is in order, but also make sure your physical house is in order. Make sure y'all got food stocked. Them prices I saw, I like I said, I got meat in the fridge, in the freezer. My refrigerator and freezer they're overflowing right now. Honestly, God has blessed me in the sense that I am blessed in the sense I'm not struggling for that. Even as fat as I am, I don't have to struggle. But in the early part of this pandemic, something was telling me store, and I started stocking cans. I even got canning things. I need to get a pressure canner, and there are some emergency things I still want to get. I want to get a Jackery solar generator. That power loss out in Dallas should tell you a whole bunch. All them storms they having on the East Coast. I need to get a Bunsen. I want to get the Bunsen butane crossover little stove where you can cook on it in case you lose power. I got candles in the back. I even got emergency. You guys think emergency. Batteries, flashlights, all that. Emergency. There's also propane type heaters you can get to have in your house. Emergency. You really need to start thinking out the box and be prepared, especially with the level of natural disasters. Again, people are not looking through the lenses and seeing. Now, if your house burned down, there's nothing you can do. But if your house don't burn down and you lose power for weeks on end, a solar generator will power my little refrigerator. Okay? I got my grill now. I could actually grill out there. I'm going to be ordering some wood here soon where I don't have to cook in here. Now, luckily, I got gas. But again, the gas could be impacted. Electricity would be probably the first thing to lose. But, gas could be impacted. I think gas would not be impacted as badly as what electrical would. But we are so dependent on stuff. Right now, I told the group, you guys print out recipes. Some people, everything you cook off of what you think online. So if you're not somebody who's a cook, and you looking at recipes online, you better print some stuff out, how to make bread. I got recipes on how to make emergency bread. Print it out here in the house. And if you understand the philosophy of what bread is, yeast, water, flour, and you can throw it together. How to make tortillas. Powdered eggs if you need it. Who to go through for emergency items. And sometimes we need to go back and look at some of these crazy prepping people that you think is crazy, because some of them will give you some wisdom. I just found one online to tell you how to get emergency antibiotics in your house. There's a company online that they found, and a legitimate company. You can do some research on them, and you actually have to talk to the guy. I think one of them is a doctor, pharmacist, whatever. And they'll go through. You let them know if you're traveling overseas, they get you an emergency kit that you take with you that has certain antibiotics in it. You can have them here in your house, stored in case of emergency. I'll be looking at that here in the near future as well. There's a guy, if you haven't watched, his name's Lead Farmer. He's interesting. He's a little over the top, but he's interesting. But coming with wisdom. See, a lot of folks right now, y'all don't even realize China told their people to start storing food. Germany did the same thing. I'm just saying. Baby. Now, China's like, get ready for the winter and just in case of an emergency. Germany like, hey, y'all might want to have at least 3 months worth of food or something like that on hand in case we have any civil unrest. What kind of civil or any kind of... So they trying to say is, hey, things are so jinky right now, we don't even know if a war going to come to our land, so we want y'all to be prepared with food in your house in case. All this conversation happening right as the supply chain is jacked up. Oh, by the way, if y'all don't know, guess who owns quite a few of the ports? China. So I'm just Y'all better go do your research and start focusing. See, it's all about us. So we're in our own bubble and we don't see. If you have to look beyond your walls to understand how the enemy's moving and how God's moving and how time is moving and where we're at. And if you do that, like I said, I'll be sitting back going, ooh, Jesus. When I watched the news article to find out that China owned a good majority of ports and are in the process of acquiring more ports, and then a lot of the goods that are sitting on those ships happen to be Chinese goods, and it's not only here in America. Because my friend, again, I love her. I have a friend here, and she's like, "Yeah, we wanted to go on this cruise because again, we want things to be normal, and we saw all these ships, and I was like wondering what's going on, and that has to do with the ports. It's not just here though, and see, that's what we think. We think it's just here in America. Oh no, 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 worldwide. These ships are just sitting outside of ports, and they're trying to tell you it's a supply chain issue. Yeah, it probably is a little bit. And guess who's making a ton of money? The shipping companies, trucking companies, the storage facilities for those containers, companies like Walmart, Target. Some of them, they done hired their own ships, and they having their stuff brought in somehow and still getting goods and services. So what does that do to the smaller businesses? And how did you get your stuff in when everybody else got to wait? Isn't there a format that when stuff comes in from different countries, it has to go through customs at the ports? So I want to know how in the Sam hell these other ships are sitting out here. You can go buy a ship and have your goods and services still come into yeah. Evil, evil, evil. The love of all money is the root of all evil. I ain't saying money is evil. I'm saying the love of it. The love of it. Y'all see, I be sitting back, I'm just sitting there going, ooh, Jesus. You have your glasses on. You look, you got your glasses on. Okay. You know, grandma in the church, they gotta look and go, something ain't the hell right. Something ain't the hell right. Something ain't the hell right. But I go back to that conversation with that man at that job when he's talking to me and my friend Gina, and he said, we just gonna translate the cost down to the employees in other places. We not gonna pay that at the top. That's not gonna affect our salaries. Woo! He just spoke truth and wisdom. I was like, my mind went back to that conversation. Everything happened for a reason. It do. Everything happened for a reason. Y'all, we at 92 minutes. Let me let y'all go and get off here. I gotta run to the restroom anyway. Y'all have a blessed turkey day. For those of you who see this later on, give us a like, thumbs up, share it out. Some of y'all have asked me about the Cash App. It's in the link. So blessings to all y'all. Appreciate it. Y'all, 2 and 2. I hope you have a blessed Thanksgiving. Please be careful. The virus has not disappeared. Things are not normal. Matter of fact, they're more weird than they've ever been. Stay in prayer. Keep your hand in Jesus' hand. Get rooted and grounded and read your word. And if you don't like to read, listen to your word. You can listen to it free on YouTube. I'm just saying. And definitely get you some food storage in your house, water, and don't be living just off of McDonald's and Taco Bell and all them other places. Because if all hell break loose and you can't get to Taco Bell, you better have something to eat up in your house. And if you don't know, beans and rice are a major staple. Get them in bulk and do what you got to do. But you need to have enough food on supply for you and your family. And don't be just self-centered to make it about you. Always store for at least one other person. If you can do more than one, that way God will bless you. Because in the crisis, if you self-centered, what you have will not last. I'm just telling you because it's kind of the principle of things. Y'all, 2 and 2, be blessed. Peace.